Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the project that I am working on. I am working on a project called Me Too Sis, a
Okay.
life from a woman's perspective. And basically, what I am doing is interviewing different women and learning their stories and allowing them to share things that they've gone through in life, whether it be starting a business, past traumas, just anything that women are open to sharing in hopes that other women hear these stories and can relate to some of them to create like a sense of community. Because whether we are black, white, brown, green, we
Purple.
all go through some of the same things. And at the end of the day, we're all women. So I think it's really important to um, uplift each other and oops, hold on, there we go. Uplift each other and be able to say like, hey, like, hey sis, I've been through some of the same things. Maybe these are the things that I did to get through it, or this is what helped me, just to try to, kind of bring us together. Because I think a lot of times we get lost in the things that we go through, or where we come from, or who's around us, and oftentimes we feel like we're alone, or like no one can relate to us. So I think by sharing our stories and putting ourselves out there, not only does that do something for us ourselves in our healing journey, but it also could help someone else.
Right.
So
It can. It most definitely can. Woo. I'm excited.
yeah, I'm excited too. So, my very first question: who is Judy B? Who are you?
Woo. She's so many people.
Okay, well, give it to us. Who are all these people?
So Judy B actually started off as a joke. It was just because I was a cute girl with a big old booty. But I took that name and I ran with it. Started DJing, I started doing makeup, I started doing hair, and it's grown into this for me it's an empire. Like I'm looking at this name, and when I hear my name, people get excited. It's like, oh girl, do you know who that is? And I'm like, who is it? Because I don't I don't know. To me, it's just me. But when I go out and they're like, "Oh, that's Miss Judy or that's Judy B," that do you know that girl be cold on the. It's like so many things. Um, man, it just really took off for me, and it's my safe space. Judy B is my safe space.
Okay, okay. Let's try again because maybe maybe we need to take two.
No, it did lag a little bit, but it never stopped. Like I can still see you moving and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully we got that piece in there. I'll know when I go back to edit the footage. Okay, well, that's okay. So you mentioned that you started DJing and you got into cosmetology. Which came first, and how did you get into it?
Cosmetology came first as a backup to makeup. I fell in love with doing makeup first because I know this might sound messed up, but I would see people and I'd see a different version of their face. So people be like, "Oh, my eyebrows are messed up," and I would never see that. I always saw this perfect image of a person, and like even with guys, when they had the scruffy beard going on, and it was just like, "Oh, I need to get a haircut." I didn't see it. I saw
Mm,
something different. So when I started doing makeup, the first person that let me do makeup was actually on my ship. That was in 2011 and I fell in love with makeup. I was like, oh wow, you can add colors, you can take colors out, and it was just it did a thing for me. So
mm,
then I started the make. I went into a makeup business in 2015. I started under a local cosmetics brand in Dallas, and then from there it was like I want to do more, but I felt like people weren't respecting my business. They looked at it as a hobby for me. And I was always the last resort, or, oh, girl, I forgot that you did that. So I put some paperwork behind it. I called my cousin. I said, man, I'm tired of feeling like, I'm not good enough to do anything. And she said, just put some paper behind your name. So I ended up going to cosmetology school in 2019, fell in love with doing hair and makeup. And then in I want to say that was 2020, we went to the Texas All Female Ride in St. Louis. And the DJ at the time was DJ Breezy, and she had to go to the bathroom. And she was DJing, but she had to pee. So somebody had to figure out how to keep the music going. And I was like, oh, what button? I don't know nothing. She don't figure it out. I gotta pee. And I'm like, okay. And it really just took off from there. So it went makeup, hair, music, and here we are. Just
Man, okay. And I mean, you're my go-to DJ. I'm just saying. Anytime I see somebody need a DJ, I'm like, oh, let me just tag it because she might be able to do it. I'll never know if you can do it or not, but I'm like, at least let me plug you in because I know that you're good, so you might be able to, help them out with their needs.
yes.
So, what is one of the hardest things you've had to overcome as a woman?
The hardest thing, I just recently overcame it. It's actually two. It's embracing my feminine energy
Mhm.
and letting go of the trauma attached to becoming a mother. Um, for me, I became a mother in the military. Well, I got pregnant in the military from the result of somebody not liking the word no. And for the first time in 10 years, I had to deal with that. I think maybe 3 weeks ago, I finally got into a psych eval for the military. And I had to say that man's name out loud. And
And how was that?
it just it just came out. It was like, whoo, like it finally came off of me. Like I can call you by your name. I can address you for whatever you did and just let it go. Because in my head, forgiveness is not dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? If you
Right.
don't bring it up, you forgave it. But that's really not how it goes. Like you really have to get that off of you because you're holding on to something and these people that went on about their lives. And it's not so much as holding a grudge. I never held a grudge about it because I'm like, well, he didn't know what he was doing. I don't hold that against that person. I went to press charges, but they kind of downplayed my situation. So I felt like I had to just deal with it. That was basically the answer was, okay, it happened, now what? But to actually sit down and get that off my chest and say, okay, I'm good now. Because my baby is 10. He's almost 10. He hasn't missed anything. I haven't missed anything. Nothing has stopped since I became the mother to this child. And then with my feminine energy, I've always felt the need to pick up the slack where somebody's son left off, be it my dad or somebody I decided to date or whatever. It's like I'm always rushing to get it. I got it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Mhm.
I got this. I got that. But I met somebody that has changed that, and it's like, girl, go sit down. And it feels so good to just be a woman and not a superhero or I have to do it all. I don't have to do it all. Like having help and just somebody that wants to be a male presence in your life, it's a balance. Like
Mhm.
we can be strong women, but our strength doesn't have to be at the cost of our mental health or sleep or breaking our backs trying to pick up heavy stuff. Like we don't have to do that at all. And it feels good.
Right.
That feels really good. Be it a male figure or just another strong feminine energy that can help you find yours. Like we don't have to be little boys. We can be tough girls and
Yeah.
still cry because
Yeah.
I cry
Yeah.
a lot. I've been crying a lot lately, and it feels good. Like
You sometimes you just gotta cry and go
yes,
through that so you can think clearly about
yes,
what to do on the other side. So
man. Just like holding all of that in, and then either you want to scream or you want to cry. It's one of the two things. But
mhm.
being allowed to be soft enough, and it's not taken as a weakness, because that was one of the things I heard a lot um, in dating. That oh, you too strong for that. You showing you being real weak right now. That if whatever I did, it shouldn't hurt you. No, it does. Why I can't be hurt? So those two things have brought a drastic change in my womanhood. Like just embracing all of it, embracing the hurt to learn how to process it properly, to let go of it,
Right.
because we don't.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned that you were in the military. What made you enlist um originally?
It was almost like an accident to be, because I graduated from high school at 16, so I couldn't really work. Um, And everywhere I applied, I was overqualified because of the high school I went to. So I had internship qualifications. I had office work. Everything I had done, except for maybe 2 fast food jobs, was in an office for free. So when I went to apply for regular jobs, they was like, "Oh no, we can't afford you." And I'm like, "I ain't do nothing." So I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find no job. I got real cute, went to the job fair at Mountain View College, and I walked through there and I saw all these Army people. I saw Army, I saw police, I saw firefighters. I was trying to be a firefighter because I saw this cute firefighter. That didn't work.
Hmm.
So I went over to the Navy table and he said, "What if I told you we could pay for you to go to school?" Sign me up, buddy. That was, that was all I needed. He was like, "We can pay for you to go to school." Okay, I'm going. What I need to do. And I was gone within 20 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I left 20 days after I went and took my test, and man, that was something. It
So
was
how
good.
long were you actually in the military before you got out?
I did 2 years active duty. I ended up with a service related injury, and they sent me home. My service related injury, don't laugh, but it was because my hips was too big at the time.
Huh.
That's
That's
my
interesting.
service related injury. I said, "Oh, that's a thing. Cool." It's
Hmm.
kind of shady, but that's what they said. So I went.
Yeah. Hmm. I don't know if I ever heard that one before, but hey, I guess
It's
anything is
crazy.
possible.
And it was 6 of us. It was 6 of us at the time. And all of us were from the South. All of us built the exact same. And it was like, okay, we can't do nothing with this. Okay, then. Let us go. Then I came
Hmm.
home.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. And if you had to give advice to the younger you, what would it be?
Hmm. Don't stop chasing your dream. Do not. Because at some point you wake up and you live it.
Hmm.
So that's the one for me.
Oh yeah, that's good advice. I needed to hear that myself on
Yes,
today, so thank you for
yes,
that.
yes, yes.
and
I
so
still tell this me at 30, hey, don't stop, don't stop. Do not.
yeah, and more importantly, don't stop it for other people who may not understand what your dreams
They
are.
not they're not gonna understand it because that's your dream. That's what you saw. So it's for you.
Yeah,
It's definitely
yeah.
for you. And it'll bless somebody else, but that dream is for you. You gotta carry out that vision, man. So you can't ever
Hmm.
stop chasing it. Never.
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay. Well, I have one final question for you.
Yes.
In this very moment, do you feel like you are living as your most authentic self?
I am. I am. I am locked up, shouty. I am eyebrows popping. I am in the gym. I'm a full-time mom and teacher and just full of love and energy. This is the me that I saw growing up. Like I would see it and I'd be like, "Oh, who's that girl?" Or why is it why? But I'm in a space where I'm free to be me and nobody's questioning me for it. Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
asking me why I wear my hair like this or why you dress like that or why you always sound different or I just get to be me. I get to have fun. I get to go where I want to go. I don't feel any restrictions right now. And it was like coming up on 30 and into 30, there's been like this big change. And it's like, okay, who are you? Are you gonna be you or are you gonna be who they thought you was? Now I gotta show you
Yeah.
who I really am. And I get to show them that it's okay to be all of the things that you made up in your head and still be
Mm-hmm.
the person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
That is so exciting for me. Because growing up you got imaginary friends and you got older friends that want you to do this, you got younger friends that look up to you and you gotta do this and you gotta be a certain way for your parents, you gotta be a way for your grandparents. No, you gotta be you for you. And this
Yeah.
world, the world is steady showing their true colors. So it's like, well, if they showing theirs, why I can't show mine? What's the
Right.
worst that can happen? And now that I'm fully self-employed, I get to be me. Like I don't have to be the face of Dunkin' Donuts or UPS. No, man, I get to be the face of
Yeah.
me. And it feels so good because you're gonna get me. That's all I can give
Mm-hmm.
you. I don't have to give you top quality service for this company. I am the company. I am the person that you have to interact with. So I get to just be 100% me. And that feels really good.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
good. Yes.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I can say it's been a journey, being solely self-employed. There are definitely good and bad times with being self-employed, but there's such a rewarding thing that you get out of it, having to basically um, put yourself out there for the world and say, hey, like this is what I'm good at, this is what I do, this is why I do it. And I feel
Yes.
like being authentic in that, in being a business person and just being true to who you are attracts people. So I
It
think
does.
the more authentic you are, especially when it comes to owning your own brand or your own business, it just helps people buy into what it's trying to do. But working for these other people, it's easy to get lost in who they want you to be because you have to wear a certain way, or you can't have your nails look like this, or you can't wear this, you can't say certain things, and all these things that you can't do that confine you to this box of this company because you're becoming this person that they want you to be for their business. But being your own brand or owning your own business, you get to be all that. And so I think that for me, because I met you when you were in makeup, and then I saw as you went through cosmetology school and started doing hair, and then you graduated into DJing. So I've seen you do all of these things, and I've seen you, when your locks started, and I've seen
Yes.
when you transitioned into living on your own and all kinds of things. And so I've seen this growth in you over the last few years that we've known each other, and it's beautiful. And it's
Thank
definitely inspiring for me, being younger than you, obviously, to just
you.
tell myself to keep going, even if people don't necessarily understand what it is I'm trying to do, or people might not understand the dream or the idea behind the dream, but you definitely always give me that little push to like, hey, just keep going,
Just
you'll
keep
get
going,
there. So
man. because I can't lie to you and say I haven't had a nervous breakdown or like several anxiety attacks because I'm trying to make my dream be my life. But those anxiety attacks was like, hey, you're rushing. Who are you rushing for? Slow
Yeah.
down. It's okay to slow down. I mean, time is really what we make of it. They keep telling us it's not always promised, and but as long as I can speak it into existence, hey, I'm gonna do this tomorrow. Hey, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna do this next week. You're speaking it into existence. You're not cutting your life off by making a plan to keep moving forward. You're working within your faith that, hey, I'm going to be here tomorrow, or hey, I'm going to make it 6 months, or I'm going to make it 3 more years, or I'm not going to die until I get married. Like, you're speaking life into yourself. So why not speak life into your business, or speak life into your dream, speak life into your lifespan? Like, bro, I'm not ready to die.
Right.
So I'm just, hey, it ain't my time. If I haven't made $1 bajillion, then I'm not going. You gotta speak that, and that it does help somebody else. Because I could have quit cosmetology school 72,000 times. A couple of days I walked in there and I knocked all that shit over and I walked out, because that was how I was feeling that day. But I stuck with it because it was like, see, when you live in your dream according to the vision that you have for it, and you put it in somebody else's life, like you just introduce it to them, it's gonna change them some type of way. And seeing how makeup, something as small as makeup, or something as small as putting 2 braids in somebody's hair, or just shampooing them, or playing a song that they wanted to hear that they didn't know they, really like, it impacts people. Like, I'll give you this. I think it was Saturday. Saturday, I went and DJ'd at my first colorless bar. I'm gonna call it colorless. And I just played music that I liked, music that made me want to dance. So for me playing music that makes me want to dance, I had all of them dancing. We had there were some Latino men in there. They were dancing to their songs. The Caucasian guys, they were lit, like they were dancing on the table. And then at the end of the night, nobody wanted to leave. I was playing songs that made me feel good. I'm doing my part of my dream. And the owner comes to me, he was like, man, I've never seen them dance all night. These people come here all the time. I've never seen them dance all night. What are you doing? Things that make me feel good.
Yeah.
So it's like, your dream is going to touch so many people if you just live it authentically.
Yeah.
Write it down. Write down the stuff that stands out to you and do that. And then add to it. Put little sprinkles of Black Girl Magic on it, and boom, it's up from there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna live your dream. Period. Not the one with monsters and stuff. But
is it really a dream if you're not living it?
Is it? Like,
man, I really appreciate you doing this interview. I really needed this today, because to be honest, today I'm really in a place where I'm like, are my dreams really worth all that I'm fighting for? So this interview definitely gave me a boost of motivation, and it just kind of just reminded me that I'm doing the things that I do for the right reasons. So I really appreciate you.
You are welcome. That's what we're here for. But I want to tell you that your dream is yours. You know what I'm saying? We got to share it with other people, but don't share it until you know for a fact that you're walking in that thing. And it's like, okay. Yeah. Because if you tell somebody too soon, they might pop your bubble. You don't want to pop your bubble. It hurts.
Right.
And it'll be people. For me, I tried to share my dream with people I was dating. If I had to listen to them.
Or family. Family is a big one too.
A lot of family. But the thing with family is, depending on what generation they're in, their level of understanding is going to be different because they don't know that they could have done the same thing that we're doing, but there was more. It was more strain attached to them. It was a whole lot more strain. So it was like, yeah, I could own my own business, but will it cost me my life? And that's where I've gotten in my place of peace. I have to realize that there will be, especially the older ones. I'm thinking 60 and up won't understand, or even the ones that never decided to get out of the hood. Well, I didn't leave the hood. I've always been a hood female. I'm born and raised in Oakcliff, Texas, but I didn't let that make me be small. Right. Oakcliff is big. You know what I'm saying? Like Oakcliff is huge. Why I can't be that big? I'm from Oakcliff. I am a product of my environment. I'm gonna be big. I'm gonna be real big. That's my dream. My dream has my ultimate goal with any business that I started, because I've always heard this. I said somebody in Singapore, and I still to this day, 25 years later, can't tell you what's so important about Singapore. But somebody in Singapore is gonna call me and say, "Hey, girl, I need you. I need you for this. I need you for a whole week. So just bring the baby and y'all come on. And I need all the services. I need hair, makeup, nail. I need it all." But that's always been how big my dream was. Somebody in Singapore, I'm telling you. And when it happens, we're gonna watch this interview and be like, "See, I told you."
Yeah, we're gonna come back and be like, "Dang, yes, she said that."
Girl. And I'm gonna be ready for it because my dream is bigger than what people tell me it ain't.
Yeah.
It's so big. So we have to be big in our dreams, and we gotta be big even when we're little. Even when we feel little, our dream is still bigger than all of that. And it's gonna pull you. You can't run away from it.
Yeah. And I think, ultimately for me, my dream is I don't want to be Oprah because can't nobody be Oprah.
Right.
But I want to be as big as Oprah. You know what I mean? I want to be known for a plethora of things, for helping people, helping people heal, helping them on their journey, dropping knowledge, just connecting people together. Like, that's my dream. Like, my dream is always, and it's crazy because even though it's my dream, it's always for the betterment of others. Yes. It's always to help somebody else. So I know that I'm going to get there. I know that I'm going to be big. I know because I was born to do it, So I think like sometimes it gets overwhelming.
It does.
And sometimes I can get a little discouraged in it, but I know that my dream is for me and it's going to happen. And there's nothing or no one that can stop that. So
they better don't.
That's that on that.
They better don't. Yeah.
Well, thank you again for doing this interview. I really enjoyed it.
Let me do it. Listen, I got up this time.
Right, because I'm not a morning person either, and I've really been trying to do better at that because I realized that if I wake up earlier, I can do more in a day, and I don't have to stay up so late at night. But I'm still a work in progress.
That's where I am with it. I thought about that today. I was like, "Ooh, I could get up at 6:30, but I don't up till 10. So then what? So I'm up for like ever. I don't want to be up forever. I want to go to sleep."
But see, the thing is, if you wake up early in the morning, then you got to take a nap.
I like naps. We need naps as adults.
I like naps because I want them. I don't want to have to take a nap because I need it because I've been up so early and so long. And I feel like if I wake up before 9 o'clock, I immediately will need a nap by noon. Like, it's just a given. I don't know.
When I expand into a full-blown company, I am putting lunchtime and nap time on it has to be there.
Nap
I am going to take a nap. I don't know about the rest of the people. I'm going to sleep. We need a universal adult nap time. Can we have a
Yes, that should be a requirement.
Because we need it, we deserve it. We work hard.
Right. Okay, well, that concludes the end of our interview. So, see you later.
I see you later.